So what are some of the things that you are advising the originators that you oversee to focus on right now that they can control? And let's go into the specifics on that.
Yeah. So one of the things, and I got to give Craig Strent credit for this. He implemented years ago with Apex the 40-point tracker. We have re-imaged it and focused it on, okay, what are the things in this very moment in time we can focus on? And a lot of them are, connecting with our past clients, right? Having meaningful conversations, setting the stage for, future opportunity, education around that. Our referral partners, how are we connecting with them? Education for ourselves, right? What are we doing to sharpen our own axe? So it's really the activities as opposed to, I think about in the years past, it's how many leads do we have coming in? How many fundings do we have, right? So I'm shifting now to say, let's go back in the stage to the activities that actually are going to lead to those future state.
Okay, so let's drill down a little deeper on that last one because I don't think this is talked about enough, and I'm a huge believer in it. It's that education piece. So what are some of the things that originators can be doing right now to educate themselves? And before you answer that, what I want to share with those that are with us today is we should not underestimate the psychological component of how we feel about ourselves. I mean, I used to say somewhat curtly as a public speaker many years ago, you know when you don't know shit. I mean, there's no escaping it. You know it inside yourself. If you're like, hey, you know what, I'm kind of only half educated here, you're going to have call reluctance, you're going to have resistance, you're not going to feel good about yourself, you're going to have a difficult time having the type of certainty to give advice, etc. So as it relates to this topic of educating yourself, what are some things that you're suggesting to originators right now to do to not only become better at your trade, but maybe more importantly, to feel good about your knowledge? Because I think that's a key component.
Right. Yeah, so I would break it down into a couple different categories. One, I think overall financial literacy. The role of the mortgage advisor has evolved so much to where if you're not educating your clients, you're becoming more and more irrelevant, right? You've got a commoditized product. So there's, Barry Abib has a CMA course that's out there. Jabron has CMPS. I think those are great financial literacy courses to help us be able to be confident in the advice and guidance that we're giving broadly to our clients. So that's one pillar of it. The other thing that I think is important, especially in this time right now, is that we're well informed about what's happening in the markets, right? So I make it a common practice that I am, reading about what's going on in the MBS market. I'm reading about what's going on in the economy. I'm reading about what's going on from a social standpoint, right? And I'm not talking about like the news that's going to get me spun out. I'm talking very specific to educate myself so I can have those conversations about why the market is behaving this way. What do we see into the future that's going to happen? So that would be a second pillar. And then the third pillar is, I for years I was never the guy that really read books, and it sounds funny to say that now, but like I felt like I was so busy I didn't have time for it. But now with audiobooks and podcasts, what I'll do is I'll make it a part of my routine now when I'm exercising or when I'm out on a walk, that I'm listening to an audiobook or I'm listening to a podcast. And I try to really make that something that is, positive from a mindset or causing me to think in different ways to really expand the way that, my view on, just my life in general is.